I'm Marny Nesher, publisher of the Central New York Business Journal, and welcome everyone to our CNY Business Journal interview series focusing on WISE success stories. And WISE stands for Women Igniting the Spirit of Entrepreneurship, also known as the Women's Business Center located here in Syracuse. Now I'd like to welcome Keonna Yearwood, owner of Keonna Yearwood Personal Chef. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us about your business as a personal chef.
Yes, so I specialize in healthier alternative eating, which is just a fancy way of saying a lot of people who come to me have food intolerances or strict protocols, and a lot of MDs reach out to me to help their patients kind of go through that protocol, understand what that protocol is, because a lot of the times people get protocols and they don't know how to implement them at home. So I come in, I help them, I counsel them to get the best kind of result from the protocol given.
Now, is that the only service that you offer?
No, I offer meal preparation services. So there's a wide range of services I offer, and also for individuals that may not be able to have me as a personal chef, I have a 21 plant-based reboot program that I have on my website. So I like to have a different range of pricing and varieties for everyone.
So tell me, when did you start your business?
I started my business in 2015.
2015, okay.
Yes, I was in college. I was going through a culinary program at Johnson & Wales University in North Miami campus. And I started to just, Miami in the spirit of entrepreneurship. There's a ton of entrepreneurs out in Miami. I wanted to do my own thing.
Now, what made you go into food and becoming a chef? So that's what you studied.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I studied food and beverage management and minored in nutrition at Johnson & Wales University. I wanted to become a chef just because my father was a chef and I was cooking ever since 7 years old. But what made me go into the line of nutrition is at 16, I was 350 pounds and I was a 3-sport athlete. And I needed to lose weight to, get recruitment and things like that. But I didn't necessarily know how to lose weight. I didn't know anything about nutrition, didn't know how to do it. And one of my coaches came and he was like, you're a great athlete at this weight, but we have to start doing a lot more for you to get, seen. And so he started helping me with simple nutrition. And then I ended up tearing my ACL, so I didn't end up getting any scholarships. But I always loved cooking, so that's why I planned on going into culinary school as, a secondary plan. And then when I went into culinary school, I took the nutrition class and it changed my life. I started instantly losing large amounts of weight, more than I ever did in my life. And it kind of clicked in me what my purpose was at that time, was to teach people that look like me how to get healthy.
And people are definitely more willing to listen to somebody that's gone through the experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who would you say is your target audience today then when you offer your services?
So a lot of the times my target audience is business professionals when speaking to meal preparation, but more so what I've been doing now is, again, I want people who may not necessarily can afford meal preparation or the nutrition counseling that I provide. So what I've been doing more often now is working with organizations like the Good Life Foundation here, Brady Farm, 100 Black Men, to do cooking classes and these kind of consultations that I do for my other clients, do for people in the community.
So that brings me to my other question. You also started I don't know if it's a program or a new business called Field to Fork.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so initially Field to Fork was just the starting of my meal preparation service, but then it became more, I started to recognize the need within this community, especially since COVID hit. people trying to understand what healthy means. Healthy is so broad, and there's so many, I get hit with so many questions in my inbox. And I started to say, well, people really want this information. The issue is that they don't necessarily know either how to apply the information or where to get the information from. So I essentially started a program with Brady Farm, having their boxes, people get their boxes, and me going virtually online, helping them cook, understand produce, understand growing, understand land, all these connections that we've kind of become disconnected from because of convenience, and really giving them, just instruction on, if you have squash, if you've never used squash, how to do it in different ways, how to prepare it. Because one of the things I realize is that we can give individuals produce and say, here, go cook with it, but they don't necessarily, never necessarily grew up with it, so they don't know how to use it. So trying to do this full circle kind of nutritional program, that's what I really kind of started doing, and how that transferred from just regular meal preparation.
So what do you think is your biggest challenge right now with the Field to Fork program?
Biggest challenge with the Field to Fork program is, again, getting out of our comfort zones. A lot of the times, healthy food is either considered expensive or it's considered nasty. And really getting individuals to look outside what they grew up on. I'm the first one. I grew up in a Hispanic and African American background. And when I started, cooking healthy, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing. And a lot of the things that I was using, I didn't know how to get the best possible taste out of them. So that's always a barrier when you don't necessarily grow up on these things and you're not taught to try these things, you're not taught to, say a no thank you bite and keep trying these things in different preparations. So a lot of the times, especially when working with kids, that's a barrier that I hit when they're just like, I don't want to try this. But I've been slowly getting past that barrier as I've been doing regular programming with families, individuals, just having them try things different ways and allowing them to understand that you may not like everything, but that's part of preparation. But you just have to try. You can't simply just say, no, I'm not going to do it.
Now, what made you connect with Wise? Had you started your business before you entered Wise to use their services, or was this afterwards?
Yes, I had started my business before. One of the things I tell people all the time, I'm a first generation graduate. I was the very first one out of my family to go out of college, start a business, and I didn't have the information needed. I kind of just started a business with researching, didn't have really the tools. And I started to understand how marketing played a huge part in a business, but I didn't necessarily have the knowledge on how to go about marketing, the tools, all those different things. And I've been a person that you can't run a business by yourself. It's not sustainable. So when I found out about Wise, when I went to a panel and they were discussing all the things that Wise did, I instantly was like, I have to reach out to them because in order to sustain a business, I need help and I need the information. And if they have the information and if they're willing to give out the information, why not take it?
So what other resources did you take advantage of there? I mean, I know that they have different programs. So you mentioned marketing.
Mhm.
Did you work one-on-one with a mentor or?
Yes, Miss Richardson, I absolutely loved her. One of the things I loved was a person that looked like me, a person that understood the challenges that I faced, getting capital and all these different things. It was just looking at a person and understanding that she was at the time her clothing store was just about to open, Gypsy Freedom, and just hearing her and how she was going about things, and she was so willing and open, and she any questions that I had, she answered them. She gave me the resources to go out and get it, and that was one of the things that I didn't necessarily have before. Sometimes you reach out to people, and a lot of times they'll say they want to help you, but they'll give you the bare minimum. of resources because they don't want you to take all their resources. She was so open, and she was like, this is what I use. This is what I'm doing. This is what one of my mentors were. You should look at this. You should do that. And that really helped me and gave me a sense of community. And she really helped me kind of take off, especially with my program where I was telling her about it. And she was like, you have to do it. She's like, we need this. You have to do it. And she was just giving me all these different things to do to get out there.
That's great. I hear the passion in your voice, and from 2015 starting your business that you still feel that way is great. So I think, I commend you, because I know sometimes people get so inundated in their business, they lose their focus sometimes. So it looks like you're very focused on what you're trying to accomplish. What about, are you a woman-owned business or a minority-owned business? Have you certified yourself at all?
No, that is the next process I'm going into with WISE. Because coming from Florida, I didn't really understand what it was and how it could help me. I would hear about it all the time, but again, hearing about it, no one would ever tell me specifically how to go through it, what it was for, until I went to WISE. And I'm going through the process now, and hopefully in the next couple months I will be.
Are you going through the process for New York State or on a federal level?
Yes, New York State.
New York. So as a business owner, how important is it to give back to the community?
It's super important. I grew up as a young Black girl, not really having any kind of mentorship, growing up in a small town in Connecticut, really wanting to make a difference and not really having that representation. So for me, giving back to the community is super important, because I want little Black girls like me to look at myself and say, she's not anything extraordinary. She came from a simple town. She's doing what she loves. She has a passion. She's going for it, and just giving them that representation that's needed. This is why I feel giving back to the community as a business owner is important.
And finally, if somebody would like to connect with you after watching this, either for your expertise as a personal chef or for your Field to Fork program, how can they reach out to you? What would be the best way?
Yes, you can go to chefkeonnayearwood.com and you can have all the information there, or you can always look me up on Instagram or Facebook at Chef Keonna Yearwood.
Okay, so we will also include your website up on the screen as well for people to view it. And thank you so much for spending time with me today.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time as we continue to meet more women entrepreneurs from WISE, otherwise known as the Women's Business Center. Thank you.